Hey, Mickey, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I think I had my mic mute. My mic was muted. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Are you gonna start the stream? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it started. Yes.
Okay, because I shared the stream to everyone else. Let them join in. All right. Is there a way to hide this bar here that I have on top? First chat message. Okay, it'll go away on its own. All right. Mhm. Is the stream gonna start soon?
The stream has started.
Oh, okay, because I'm looking at the one on YouTube, and it says it's waiting on TradeZing to start.
Yeah, so when I press click to start the live, it generates a new link. So the embed code changes. I'll share it with you in your chat so you can see, but I already updated it on the site.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, all right. So let me get right into it then. Sorry, guys, if the stream was perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just share this with my members right now. I'm gonna put this here. All right, because I just got all my members to join the wrong stream. Okay, it's okay. Perfect. All right, so they'll see it, and I'll just get started. But overall, right now, we are in a very strong uptrend. We have bounced from the lows as predicted, essentially in a wave four. This is the bullish case, and it's actually starting to play out very nicely. We are going to be overdue for a retrace and a pullback at one point in wave two. And when that does happen, we are going to get a very nice buying opportunity. I think, in my opinion, this is going to be a potential buy the dip moment until another rally into next year. And this very well can continue. And I know that there's a lot of bad news about recessions and stuff like that. Well, actually, the central banks and the banks now see no recession, which means that we're probably going to get one. But overall, the markets are doing very, very well. The S&P today actually broke its July high, so that's a pretty significant moment. We actually pierced it, and that's basically you've made a new high. since the July sell-off, and now we could be gearing up to a lot of people stopping out and covering their shorts. You could get a very big melt up now. Again, I know we've gotten a big melt up. We could cool off and pull back, but if it wants to continue, it can continue, and this would be either an extended wave one, right? It could just keep extending, or you could actually, if you're still leading towards the bearish scenario, then I guess you could say that it's an extended wave two, but at this point it's invalidated. And once something invalidates, you don't really want to force it much further than it should, because then you're just forcing a chart, and it probably won't play out the way you want it to, right? So let's take a look at market cipher on the daily time frame. Things are looking very good. We've recovered essentially all of that red money flow, where we are flipping back into the green. So this fifth wave here will most likely extend to potentially new all-time highs. When we look at the larger time frames on the weekly time frame, things are looking very good here as well. And it has been showing since October that we could very well extend into the 500 levels. And again, I know it's a little bit stretching it here, but even the 600 can be achievable in the S&P, right? So again, would be like a 30% move from where we are. This one would be more of a 10% move. I'm probably leaning towards the 10 to 15% move, towards the upside in the coming months. It can keep rallying. It can keep rallying. We got really low volume right now, and there's a lot of buyers, right? There's so many people that have probably missed out on this big run here, right? And have been shorting since forever, and now they're going to start to flip long. And we've seen a break of the Nasdaq trend line. We broke out of it. We came back and retested as support, and now we're bouncing out higher to higher highs, right? So all in all, looking very well. What I would like to see is the IWM, if we are playing out this bullish scenario, to keep pushing higher and to take out this pivot here that I have at the previous decline of wave two. If it can take this out, then it would be very bullish. The markets as a whole would be very bullish, because you always want the small caps to be you want the small caps to lead the markets, right? Because that's where speculative money goes. Right now, the small caps are getting a very, very nice rally. We are getting some selling though, so that's something to take into account. We're getting some selling on the smaller time frames, I believe. I think it was on the futures that I saw the selling happen. Let me see. Yeah, so the futures, we're seeing some selling. They're taking some profits along this pump, but you can see the amount of accumulation that they've been, starting to buy on the way down, right? And another thing too to take into account is not only just the small caps as a leading indicator, but oil, right? We want to see oil start to flip back up, because if we really do want to avoid this recession scenario, then we need to bounce now and invalidate this bearish pattern that I have playing out, which is been playing out since the highs of $90, right? Oil has had a very significant drop. It's got a nice bounce today, but it could just be a wave two and then a continuation towards the downside. If this continues, markets, this right now in the short term, this is very bullish, because this is disinflationary, right? You're seeing the markets getting a very, very excited, very euphoric. Oil's going down, inflation's going down, interest rates are going to be going down, dollars going down, markets going up, right? Those are all bullish catalysts in the short term. But if it goes down too much, right, it could become a bearish catalyst, right? Now you could start to talk about recessions, and that might be why yields are dropping so fast, right? It's a flight to safety. People are jumping into bonds, especially the long-term dated bonds too, like the 20-year and the 30-year, to get that really good yield, because they think that rates could be going to zero, right? Or back to zero. But I don't see that happening. I do believe that there is going to be a floor on yields, right around 3.8 to maybe 4% on the 20-year. After that, you should be due for a very big rally back up in the yields, right? And that's what the pattern is showing to me right now. Let me take a look at natural gas here. So natural gas overall, a very bullish pattern on the monthly time frame. The daily time frame at the moment, it just can't get out of its own way, right? It just keeps going lower and lower. Even today was a flat positive day. Nat gas is very, very difficult trade right now. If this was a wave 4 high, in that case, we should be headed to lower lows. we could be taking out the pivots right around $1.91. If we do that, then you could be headed towards the all-time lows, which would be right around, let me just get the correct chart here. I believe it's on the futures. The all-time lows are at, we've got to go far, far back, $1. Essentially, $1 for natural gas is the all-time low. And if we do get to that level, then it would be probably a screaming buy, because we are going to most likely head into a commodity run once we do get into this recession, and they have to inevitably drop rates and print money, stimulate the economy to get us out of this recession they're going to put us into, right? But yeah, overall, all in all, things are looking good for the markets. Seasonality is in place. So seasonality will start, right, in probably like November, December. It starts like early on in November, and it lasts all the way throughout December, early January. After that, it should be finished. So, in my opinion, we've gotten that seasonality rally, right? We've gotten it, but it can keep going up. It's going to wither down, and we're going to start to lose it as we enter next year. But it doesn't mean that the markets cannot. Sorry, it doesn't mean that the markets cannot go up, right? The markets can always keep going up. Light volume, all this good news, right? Things can keep pushing on higher and higher. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is the talk of the town right now, right? Booming every single day. Look at that, 44,300. It is pushing to make another high here, which we do have at 44,475. This is looking very good for Bitcoin for a melt up. All the altcoins are melting up as well. AVAX is up 11% here. We got Solana, I believe, up another 7 to 8% as well. And we have ADA today blasting through 20 to 19%. My goodness. So everything is kind of having a very euphoric rally. So this is usually the part where you get a lot of FOMO traders, a lot of people start to FOMO in, and it's the late stages of a top, right? No, it doesn't have to be a significant top, right? We could have a melt up to 48,000, and then you'll have, oh, sorry, let me just get a, right? So we could have a melt up to like 48, 50,000, and then you can have a huge crash back down to the $35,000 levels, right? So right now you're getting this massive, massive rally up to 30, 40%, and you could have just as fast as of a crash back down 20, 25 to 26%, right? And that's going to wipe out a lot of people. It's going to shock the markets once again. But overall, you inevitably will get this, and it will come. And once you do get that pullback, then you could be setting up for one final rally in wave 5. I do have this as a larger cycle pattern here as a wave 1. Oh, sorry, let me just pull this up higher. So you have a wave 1. So this should probably be our wave 1 pre-halving, and then we'll get that pre-halving crash too, which should pull back, right? So maybe this is it right here sooner than later, and then we'll get that pullback, and then we'll have a 1, 2, a 3, 4, and a 5, and then this will propel us to new all-time highs in Bitcoin, and this will fall in place and like kind of in line with what the Federal Reserve is going to do with their monetary policy, when they're going to probably cut rates around then and start to stimulate the economy, and so on and so forth. And then the dollar will go down. Right? We can take a look at the DXY. The dollar is getting a nice bounce right now because it was oversold. It started to consolidate above its 200-day moving average. If it could get a move above 104.5, or sorry, 104.2, and you close the daily candle above that, then you can keep pushing back higher. You do have previous resistance here right at 104.69, and then your next resistance would be at 105.71. Let me just put some nice targets here for you guys. Label this. Perfect. There we go. But yeah, overall, all in all, things are going very well. We could actually talk about the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen, very, very, very surprising of how quickly it fell. And I think I read a post the other day. Someone was saying it takes about 5 to 6 days or something like that for the Japanese yen to have a significant impact on the market. And I do believe that when the Japanese yen sells off like this, it's not very good for the markets, right? So maybe this will fall in place with a potential pullback in the SPY, right? Every good rally needs a pullback, right? A nice healthy pullback, because if you don't get that, uh, you could be setting up for just another like parabolic run in like Bitcoin, right? Something similar, right? And then everyone FOMOs in, and then you'll fall just as fast, right, as the way up. So you take the elevator, up, you're gonna take the elevator down. You need steady growth, and that's what builds good price action and a long lasting support in the market. Yeah, so we could actually take a look at some individual names as well. I know a lot of people have been following me for those individual names on analysis for hedgeline trading. And let me just head over here and I'll pull some up for you guys. So we can take a look at PayPal here. So PayPal is actually potentially in its wave 5 top. It's in the process of hitting some, some pretty heavy sell areas that I had outlined here. We could get on some smaller time frames. So I actually had this as a nice little ABC correction pattern into a wave 5. Could it still be in wave 5? Yes, it could, right? So maybe this was a wave 1, 2, and now you're in 3, right? And then you're still in wave 3, which could take you higher and actually break past this sell area that I have here. And you could technically extend the wave 4 even higher, right? Let's say you're going for this resistance, this downsloping trend line that I've drawn here, then you would be set up for a potential target of 65. But overall, price has been reacting very well of my sell area that I put here at $60 all the way to 60, 61, 80, or sorry, 61, 67. And right around this area was where I thought PayPal would start to sell off. And that's exactly what we got. But overall, PayPal is still pushing up. It's making higher highs and higher lows. So that's overall bullish. So we could have a continuation of the trend here. We can have a fifth wave extension. And as we've seen in the markets, everything seems to be extending up right now. Let's take a look at Roku, another very popular one that I get requested a lot. So Roku is actually might have potentially topped out here. It's in the process of coming down in its A wave, in its ABC corrective pattern, and Roku should come back down to maybe the 76, 74 area for a nice buy, right? In my opinion, and then you can come back up in a very big wave 3, and that would be your wave 3 of 3, which is the very bullish stages of a rally. And it can get very parabolic very quickly. So that's actually really good news for Roku, but it would take a correction regardless. So again, lots of stocks set up for a potential correction as well, but they can push higher, right? If they take out this high here, you just got to keep extending the fifth wave. And you never want to miss the wave 3. So you would definitely be wanting to buy on this dip here. Let me take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA Mag 7 stock, very popular. I believe we are in wave C at the moment, and we should be coming just a little bit higher. Let me just do a target for you guys on where I think NVIDIA is going to finish up right around. Let me just pull this up here, parallel channel. So usually between the 1 and the 2 is where we should be finishing the wave 2. So let me just pull this up. Moment. Sorry, I had a little bit of a phone call there, but yeah, it should be actually finishing up maybe right around here. I don't know if I like that actually. Let me think. See, yeah, it could technically be doing something like that in the middle of wave 1, but I'm not sure. Let me just I'd rather do it with a fib. So right now with the fib, just do a fib retracement. So we've fallen all the way down here. So yeah, you could be coming right around to the 618 to 668 is where I would like to see the price reach, which would be right around 47 to 45, or sorry, 44. And right around that area, you might see a wave 2 top. If that happens, then NVIDIA should be getting some selling. I don't know what the news is going to be like, but that's why we always do Elliott wave and we have our fib targets. So then after that, you could be coming back down in a huge wave 3, 4, and a 5, right? And this could put pressure on the markets to go lower. This could be our correction that we could be waiting for. Let me take a look here. Let's take a look at Apple actually. Apple pushing higher every single day. It has passed my sell area. I no longer like this as a short, right? It's you did get that initial reaction down, but essentially what it was just bullish consolidation before it popped higher. And what you're doing now, let me see if you got any bearish divergence. Not anything that not nothing bad on the chart at the moment, to be honest. Apple is just floating up on light volume and it is loving it. Everything is essentially floating up on light volume. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when I'm talking about light volume, if you look at the SPY and we check the volume here, we only have 76 million shares traded today, right? And then we have 66 the day before. This one was actually even light. It was pretty light volume for selling as well. 69 million shares, right? 69, 72. This was okay volume. 89 million shares. You went up on a pretty decent volume here. 79, 62, 50 million shares traded, 29, like 49 million. This is extremely light volume. So when the market has light volume like this, its bias is to go towards the upside or sideways. So you guys can see we chop sideways, just floating up, floating up, floating up. And we can even look at it on the intraday chart. So I'll even show you guys what I'm talking about. So you can see today we got the news, right? Huge pop, then huge sell off. And then what happens after that? You reach like, lunchtime or something. Market has a gentle float up, just gently floating up, floating, 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 right? So you will just float up, going up until you get that, that big news event that day that will shift the markets, and then the institutions will step back in and recommence the selling and the profit taking, and then that's when you'll get a big kick in the market. That'll probably be our wave to retrace. Okay, so in my opinion, right now that we've taken out these July highs, the next dip that we could get would be a very big buying opportunity. Right? It would be a very, very big one. You wouldn't want to be missing this because it would be probably the final melt up before we top out around. I have my target here between 540 to 508, 510, something like that. And then you should start to run into pretty, I mean, this is we're going to be in price discovery, but this should be our target, our sell area. I can't call it resistance because we have never traded there, but you should run into here and price should start to show signs of weaknesses. And then you could get very quick reversal. Maybe you'll chop sideways for a few months, and then you'll start to sell off on a news event or something like that. Looks like more. Sorry, Vandalay says looks more like a zigzag pattern on PayPal. maybe we'll never know. We'll see how it plays out. Right, PayPal could be a zigzag. Right, maybe it's a something like, it could be. It very well could be. It could also be finished already, right? I could change up the count, right, and make this 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, right? And this could be just the beginning of your bigger cycle towards the upside, right? This could be the beginning of something more bullish, right? And then we if that's the case, then we have to adjust very quickly and change the count up, and we'll take it day by day. We'll see once we break those levels, Vandally. Let me take a look here at a few more things. So I want to take a look at some altcoins here. Very interesting. Let's run them through Wave Edge as well, because the Wave Edge was designed for Bitcoin and crypto. So wow, look at that. So Bitcoin, you do have a daily red cross here, but again, price is pumping, so doesn't mean price is going to sell off at any time or anything like that. 1 hour, actually 1 hour got some green crosses, so that's bullish. Those are buy signals, right? And look how they're performing now. So Bitcoin now at 44,500. It has made a new high. Let me just take a look here at Solana. I do want to check on Solana, see how Solana's doing. Where is it? Oh, I got a huge list of cryptos here. So Solana looking very bullish as well. You got a green cross down here. You did get a sell signal, but it didn't amount to anything. And now look what's happening. The MACD is crossing once again, and you are pushing higher, right? So you can push higher. Chain Link getting a nice rally as well, up to $16.86 now. So again, lots of euphoria in the market. You're gonna get a lot of people chasing now. So don't be surprised if this thing pops up at $20, $25. Things can go far past our expectations, especially in big euphoric rallies. Let me take a look. We actually had ADA today, so let's see if ADA is getting any sell pressure here. We're probably gonna have to go on some smaller time frames to see if you're seeing any big whales taking profits. So they're selling along the way, but you can see that these buy signals are working very well, especially in the bull trend. You can see that small sell-off, right? Like a 3-4% sell-off, accumulation, and then a huge 30% rally. All right. Let's take a look here at AVAX. So AVAX up 11% now. Oh, you're actually getting some selling here at the highs, but we'll have to see how this ends up playing out. Let's say that this is the top, or maybe a temporary top. Let me see if we got a wick here. Yeah, we wicked up to $29.77. You got this previous pivot, right? So you got to take that into account. Basic TA. You got this previous pivot. This could very well act as big resistance, right? Let me see if I have a chart for AVAX. Yeah, I got a chart for AVAX, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have that pivot there. Oh yeah, okay. Well, we're blowing through it right now at 28, and okay, there we go. I got another one at 33. I'd probably add this one though, right here. Right? If we're gonna play the pivots, then this would be a major one for AVAX. You could very well see a big pullback from there. Just pull this there, here. There we go. So again, this would be your next resistance level if you are looking for some shorts, but trying to jump in front of a moving train, very difficult and very dangerous. All right. So yeah, that would be the next level for AVAX. Let me see AVAX on the market cipher. Let's take a look here. So again, lots of green money flow. Momentum waves are extending. You got that buy signal right here, November 30th, right? And look where we are now. We are 43% higher than when we got that buy signal. Taking a look at the smaller time frames. Yeah, increasing. Nothing bad that I see. 1 hour extending as well. So yeah, it's getting a little bit stretched now, but I would like to see maybe a push to that pivot. That would be a nice target in the short term. Yeah, let me take a look here at maybe some popular ones. I actually had some people talking about some coins in the Discord, so we'll actually talk about some of the ones that they were looking at. I believe XRP and XLM and EOS were a big requested one too. Let me just get a sip of coffee here. All right. So EOS, let's take a look at EOS, USDT, EOS, USDT. Yep. This one's rallying as well. This one actually could have ways to go. It's been very oversold. If you take these, into perspective, they got a long ways to go, right? But you got to be careful when entering your trades. Right? Are you chasing? Right? Are you chasing now? Right? Because now you could be participating into the FOMO. You can get a huge pop, but if it doesn't play out your way, you could get a very big reversal. That's why you got to always play with a tight stop, or play it safe. Yeah. So you're already seeing some selling here at the highs. We'll have to see if it turns out into something bigger, or we just blast through this level or keep going. But you are actually at a pretty decent level of resistance from these previous highs. All right. That's why I'm not too surprised that we're seeing some selling here. Let me just pull up a box here. I'll show you guys. Yeah, so something right around there. You're starting to run into resistance. Let's take a look at XLM, USDT, Stellar Lumens. All right, so Stellar, I even think we have a Stellar chart. Yeah, XLM. I believe we did have one. Yeah. Stellar, yeah. So Stellar actually resistance was here, and my previous resistance was 16 cents. We ran right into it. Beautiful rejection since then. We actually fell like 39%. If we're able to get above these previous pivots at 13 cents, you could have a very parabolic move up to 17 cents, which would be a 24% move. So wow, that would actually be a very, very nice. I would actually take that breakout trade if we were to, to pump up to these levels here. That'd be very nice. That'd be a very, very nice play on Stellar Lumens. Okay. We can put this back on the 4-hour, save for the charts for the members. And let's just take a look at the final one is XRP. I actually do own a fair bit of XRP. XRP Army, right? So XRP is getting a nice little pump too, up 4%. Essentially, your short-term resistance is this previous pivot here, right? At 73 cents, 73.2, 73.2 cents. If you're able to get above it, you got a basically straight shot up to 92 cents, and that would be 26% jump in the price. There's a lot of bullish people on XRP, especially in my Discord. Daniel inside the Discord is very, very bullish. He has huge bags, but again, these are alts, right? If you want to speculate in altcoins, you have to accept the risk that it comes with, right? So sometimes they'll play out, sometimes they won't, and sometimes they'll drop significantly further than where you think they're going to drop. Right, you can take a look at Hex. Hex has gone destroyed during this bear market. There's Hex, and there's like a lot of allegations that's going on Richard Hart and stuff like that. But overall, Hex, I mean, look at that parabolic rise. Look where Hex is still at. It's still at like half a penny. And then yeah, I get it. They had that pulse chain, and then they split the Hex in half. So technically, the price was supposed to fall 50%, but overall, I mean, like. Hex has been beaten up so much, so much. It's just it's almost nothing left, right? You did get a nice little 200-300% pump the other day, but I mean, if you take it into perspective, a lot of people are probably underwater. All right, so yeah, that's essentially it. Seasonality is still in play, but it is going to wear off and go away slowly as we get closer and closer as we get closer to the end of the year. Once we get into January, that's going to be a very important point in my opinion. I feel like if we keep floating up into the end of the year, it would be no doubt in my mind that I would take a pretty big short on the markets and wait for a very big pullback. Because I don't think it's healthy to just keep floating up and going up like this. Excuse me. Market goes up in waves, and when you do a parabolic rise like this, and you get everyone on one side of the trade, because right now everyone is getting very bullish. I tend to take a step back and just look at what everyone's doing and just say, "Whoa, this is a little bit too much," and you might want to be careful right now. Okay, so hopefully that information helps you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, on the next event that we're gonna have. But you guys can always find me doing audio rooms on TradeZing around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's usually right around when I do it, or 8 p.m. depending on how busy I am. But overall, hopefully you guys join and sign up to TradeZing. There's actually a lot of good content and a lot of good posts that are made about finance, cryptos, all the time, right? And I've read many posts there, and it's very, very useful. You actually get a good amount of you get a good broad market recap of the day as well, because a lot of people post their daily updates there as well. All right, thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.